Waiting to buy a property is definitely not the best option. I've been in the business for more than a decade, and the best time to buy a property is always yesterday. If you are waiting to buy a property, it is likely that you are trying to time the market. But based on my experience, real estate is not about timing the market, but time in the market. While we always want to sell low and buy high, what we have to remember is that property prices are constantly on the rise. It's been on the upward trend for the past 15-20 years. So what we want to take note is that at any point in time when we buy a property, it's always going to be expensive because we have seen past prices. Nobody would have thought that the OCR regions would have hit an average of 2,400 per square feet. If we look back, it would definitely be very expensive. But now if I could turn back time 10 years ago and say that, in 10 years time, the OCR average property prices are going to hit 2004, and back then it was only at about 1,200 per square feet, would you have bought a property? And likewise, right now, the issue is that we cannot see the future. We can only see the past prices, which is why you feel it's expensive. And that's why at every point and any point in time when you buy a property, it's always going to be expensive because we can't see what's going to come up, but we can only see what prices were before. But if you look at trends and statistics, property prices has only been on the rise, and this is because highly due to inflation, construction costs, your labor, material costs have all increased, land costs has also increased. So the newer developments, new launches, newer properties will only get more and more expensive. If you are always going to be comparing to past prices, it's not going to help you because it's only going to cost you a fear to enter the market. And this will only cause you to get priced out. So let me give you an example of being priced out. I do have a client who was looking at a 2-bedroom 5 years ago who didn't enter because they were waiting for property prices to drop. 5 years ago, they thought property prices were too high and it was too risky to enter, and they waited. Right? Fast forward 5 years today, they cannot even afford a 2-bedroom because property prices has been increasing, their age has decreased, their loan tenure has decreased, so the down payment capabilities needs to be increased. But unfortunately, in the past 5 years, the income didn't grow, so the affordability stayed the same, but property prices went up. So if you are looking to buy a 3-bedroom and you can't afford to do that in the current market, please do not wait. What I will advise you to do is to buy a 2-bedroom within the same development and then take profits in time to come. So if let's say you are going to be buying a new launch, for example, buy the 2-bedroom first on TOP, we sell the development, we take the profits, and then we move that to a 3-bedroom in the same development. So basically, you're taking the profits and moving it to the 3-bedroom. In a way, you're not paying the TOP price for the 3-bedroom because you are taking the profits from the 2-bedroom. So it kind of makes it like you're buying into the 3-bedroom at the new launch prices.